Hello all. I hope everyone is able to hear me. Welcome to ECOSOC Youth Forum and the side event of Public Association Zhasilay from Kazakhstan. Normally today, Ms. Amina Zemeney would be make the moderation, but she's not able to do this today. Right now, she's sick. So I'm here. My name is Kemal. Today we will have significant speakers such as young volunteers and civil society professionals. Our topic is COVID-19 recovery and the youth action for a sustainable future. We are planning the event as 15 minutes, and Mr. Nikita Shabayev will make our opening speech as the coordinator of UN Volunteers Kazakhstan. Then we will welcome Ms. Aslıhan Yesir as the young volunteer of Turkish Green Crescent. Our second speaker will be Ms. Memory Usaman from Rwanda Youth Impact from Kigali, Rwanda. And thanks to Mr. George Adolo from Slum Child Foundation in Kenya, he's going to tell us about how global partnership contributes to connection between SDG 3 and SDG 4. Now I would like to invite Mr. Nikita Shabayev as the coordinator of UN volunteers in Kazakhstan. Mr. Shabayev, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, dear participants. Hello from UN volunteers in Kazakhstan. I coordinate the UN Volunteers program here, and I have something to share with you. Now, first of all, I'm honored today to open this event focused on global and challenging goals to achieve sustainable development for the people and by the people like all of us. Just like you, I'm concerned by the possible future I may live in. I'm concerned by the eternal question, how can I make a positive change? Several years ago, I joined the United Nations system in Kazakhstan as a UN volunteer and contributed to the development of volunteerism in the south of the country by involving my peers, young people. Now I coordinate the UN Volunteers Office here and truly feel inspired seeing you all as stakeholders of the way to sustainable future, recovery from COVID-19, and looking forward to seeing you taking actions to achieve it together. Let me now share my screen and tell you a couple of words on what UN Volunteers program is all about and how to become UN volunteers or contribute to the work of UN or even NGOs that you may volunteer for in your cities and in your countries. Just a second. Here. I hope you can see it clearly. Like this.
Yes, we can see it perfectly. Thank you very much.
Great. So, UN volunteers, I could not miss this slide. This is very important, and I hope everyone at least once sees this and reads this, because I believe these are really important words of the Secretary General of the United Nations. And he said, volunteering is the backbone of our societies. Working with the United Nations, volunteers build a sense of togetherness, promote volunteering, support volunteer efforts, and recognize volunteerism to achieve the sustainable development goals. I truly believe this is possible, and this is what we actually do. We were established in 1971. The headquarters in Bonn, Germany. We proved to be very innovative because we work with the people like you, like all of us, from 18 years old to 84. We are very flexible because we offer a lot of profiles, categories, opportunities for use and not use only. We are very inclusive because we include everyone to become a part of UN. We include women, refugees, persons with disabilities, communities, and so on. We're very fast and easy in our processes. Maximum to take a person on board is 30 days. We are very cost-friendly for UN entities because we provide affordable global solutions. And of course, very reliable, because once you become a UN volunteer, you become a part of our UNV family. These are the partners we work with, globally 60 of them, and 28 in our region in Europe and Central Asia. As you can see, some big agencies here listed. UNDP, for example, is the biggest in Kazakhstan. And globally, as UN volunteers, we're administered by United Nations Development Program. Of course, we work with World Food Program, UNFPA, UNHCR, WHO, UNODC, UN Women, IOM, UNICEF, and others. This is the global picture for the last year. As you can see, we have 6 regional offices. Kazakhstan is related to the region of Europe and CIS. Last year we had around 11,000 UN volunteers. We work in 160 countries. 59% of the UN volunteers are those who live in their country, so national UN volunteers. 34 is an average age, so if you can calculate it, if 18 is the minimum, then 52 is like usually maximum age in our system, but we don't have this upper limit, 53% of those UN volunteers in the world are women, and of course 84% come from the global south. These are different UN volunteer categories that you may find in our unified volunteering platform. The resource, the website that we have, the portal, call it however you call it, you can find any opportunity for yourselves. If you are youth, like 18 years, from 18 years old till 26, maybe with no experience at all, you may become a part of UN. University, same. Specialist starts from 27. And you will have to have 3 years of experience and more. And expert is 35 years old, 15 years of experience, master's degree is preferable to have this kind of category. Of course, we have community, refugee categories, and online special category for you to start volunteering right after this event, because you may literally take a laptop, register yourself. I will show you where and how, and you will have this opportunity to become a part of UN or become supportive to NGOs in your own country or abroad. Absolutely for free for yourself and for all those involved counterparts. 300,000 candidates in our talent pool. What does it mean? It means that if you are registered, you become a talent. You become a talent in our pool, and globally is around 300,000 people like all of us who are registered in this system. And once there is an opportunity, once there is an assignment that was made by UN entity, you will see this opportunity and you will just simply click the apply button, and you are already in the process of being recruited, maybe if you are chosen later at a later stage. We support every UN entity. We were created to support UN entities. By UN volunteers, I mean those people, professionals, young people, those who can support with their skills, contribute to the achievement of sustainable development goals. You may see the spheres here. It's literally everything. Online volunteering that I mentioned, this is also easy. The platform is on app.unv.org platform. You may find it, you may sign up, you may update your profile and take part in online volunteering. As you can see, 94% is a satisfaction rate of all those organizations and from organizations and from volunteers as well. These are the spheres. Again, absolutely everything that you may imagine. If you volunteer online, or if UN entity needs a volunteer, they may think about translation support. They may think about support in outreach and advocacy, maybe some research, editing, art, or maybe coding. This is also a wide range of professions. These are just the faces from Kazakhstan. These are UN volunteers, national ones, international ones. They volunteer for different agencies. We have 27 UN entities in Kazakhstan, so they volunteer for about 5 or 6 of them, as I can see. This are not all of them, because we have almost 40 and 50 last year. So these are just happy faces of those who became the part of UN. I will not waste our time on reading this feedback, but I will send this presentation in PDF document to you, so you will be able to just simply read the feedback from UN volunteers. So you see this lady, she's from WHO, Aidana, Oljas, he's from UNICEF, FAO, UNFPA. And of course, what UN Volunteers is happy and proud of is that we provide support to our UN volunteers. So the program provides the coverage. We provide entry lump sum with $4,000 when you sign a contract and you become a UN volunteer. We cover your travel tickets, your accommodation, monthly living allowance, provided we provide insurance, global insurance, 100% to cover your medical, life, disability, dismemberment, malicious acts. Of course, you will have annual leave. You see that every month you will save 2.5 days. Access to training platforms and programs, absolutely free. You will have a home visit and exit allowance. If you are an international UN volunteer, you have a one-time home visit. If you are a national UN volunteer, so basically from your own country and you volunteer in your own country, you get the entry lump sum of 400,000 or 400 US dollars. You will have monthly living allowance. You will have again same insurance, annual leaves the same, training platforms and programs same, exit allowance, one VLA, one volunteer living allowance for 12 months. So this exit allowance helps you to find another position if your contract is over. So this during 1 month, it will help you. Register your profile. First advice to you, because you are here not occasionally, you are here because you are active, you are looking for something, you want to become a part of UN, or you want to volunteer and you want to achieve sustainable development goals. So this is a way, this is a bridge how you can do it. This is just one way how to do it. My colleagues later will tell you more opportunities, but this one is a good one because it provides you a global access to online volunteering opportunities, to on-site volunteering opportunities, as I mentioned before. Just register there, check opportunities, apply, and you have this useful resources slide where you can find literally everything about your questions. But anyway, if you have any questions, you may simply scan the picture here, or maybe write down the cell phone number or email, and drop me a message if you have any question. I'm always ready to help wherever you are and whenever you want to. Thank you so much. I hope I was short in my speech, concise. I'm ready to answer your questions if you have any.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nikita Shabayev. It was an excellent presentation, and on my side, I learned a lot as a civil society worker. Now we have a young and talented volunteer from Turkish Green Crescent, Ms. Aslıhan Yesir here, and she's going to share her experiences with us as the Young Green Crescent.
Thank you, Mr.
Yes, we do see the presentation. Yeah, the floor is yours, please.
Okay, thank you. Firstly, I have to say that we have been living under pandemic conditions for such a long time, and it means a lot for me to be still in touch with you, and it is really nice to see you. Thanks for this opportunity, and thanks for everything in advance. Today, I'm gonna try to explain the connection between volunteerism, quality education, and healthier generation. If you ask this question, who is presenting you right now? I am Aslıhan. I'm volunteer of Green Crescent Society for more than 6 years. And in my private life, I'm molecular biologist and I'm working under the title of Environmental Science and Sustainability as a master's student. And today, my first title is Inequality in Accessing Quality Education and the Role of the Civil Society. As you all know, the gap between international legal commitments of the countries to provide free and quality education and the reality of providing it's quite varying. It's a kind of issue as a reality of today. And therefore, today I'd like to emphasize the significance of civil society as a solution of this problem. And if you ask why, because they take part in social accountability process as important actors in monitoring the effectiveness of public education in policies. And in this perspective, I think we cannot underestimate the value of the NGOs. We cannot underestimate the power of the NGOs because it includes knowledge, analysis, and the voice, which is so beneficial in this regard. And if you ask me this question, which groups do we consider as a vulnerable groups? You can see here, the target group is very large and their numbers are growing as a result of today's sad circumstances, you know. And the table is also indicate that, as you can see, the why governments struggle to meet their obligations to provide quality education for all people in the society. As you can predict, there are some reasons, for example, lack of political will, lack of condition to give priority to the education system, and economic conditions, and the reality of today we can count as a reality of today. And also, in this point, in the we can continue, by the way. Okay, thank you. In this point, we offer that the NGOs can contribute to this issue as a solution because they have possibility to participating in the policy dialogues, and also they have possibility to receive information about advance and also shortcomings in the implementation of the education policies. And it is a really important point in this regard. And as for the Turkish Green Crescent, if we ask this question, how does the Turkish Green Crescent contribute to education? We can say many kind of things actually. Let me introduce a little bit. Turkish Green Crescent is a non-governmental organization, and the aims is to develop sustainable health policies for all people without any discrimination. The highlighted point is here that without any discrimination. And we have some examples here. Yedam, it is called in Yedam in Turkish, and it's a kind of counseling service. And we have some training programs as a prominent works of this issue. And the Turkish Green Crescent also acknowledged the vulnerabilities of young women. Young women is also an important point here. And we also want to achieve the SDG 5 target, and Green Crescent aims to reduce the inequality by applying tailor-made service treatment, tailor-made treatment service, and creating the awareness, public awareness with the help of their volunteers. We have more than 65,000 volunteers which are interested in this point. And if we talk about another things, Turkish Green Crescent also aware the catastrophic impacts of the addiction, and our main focus is addiction, we can say. And we believe that the young people should be educated in this subject, and we apply some projects in the regard of education. And I think the key point here is that youth, because the Green Crescent works with youth to empower your strength, and also let's say Green Crescent work with youth, and also Green Crescent work with for the youth. And the term youth is also important point here is that. And also youth power in the background can be considered as representative of the NGOs in the background, because they have ability to penetrate into society, ensuring communication between NGO and community. It's a kind of bridge actually. And as for the other things, other trainings and projects, we can continue, by the way. Thank you. We have some trainings here. Trainings are provided to better empower young people in this area, actually. TBM and PCM are the two examples in this regard. And following the TBM training, by the way, TBM training includes the information about addictions. And after TBM training, volunteers have the opportunity to become practitioner trainers. And it is a kind of opportunity to apply their knowledge. And also, if you have an idea as a volunteer about addiction or addiction-related issue, by the help of PCM training, you can turn this idea into a project, and it's a kind of another significant opportunity. And after receiving these kind of addictions and trainings, volunteers transfer their experience to their peers, and we can say in a sustainable way through the university clubs. because university clubs is highly important to spread your information, spread your opinion to the different people and huge number of people, let's say. And we place a great importance on university clubs because they are the most important platform that contributes to personal development, transfer information, and spend quality time and conduct volunteer activities. We have different kinds of actually. I think we are in the wrong slide right now. Can we come back? Okay, thank you. By the way, we provide different kinds of opportunity to the volunteers. For example, we have event commission, training commission, project commission, sport commission, and culture and art commission. And they and every volunteer can place for themselves under the title of activity volunteers, trainer volunteers, and supportive volunteers. And if you are a volunteer of Green Crescent, you also know that you will have lots of opportunity to improve yourself in different area, in different kinds of title, as you can see. And as the last part of my presentation, I will give you some examples. Yeah, I am the real example of these activities, let's say. I'm also active volunteer of Green Crescent for more than 6 years, and there are lots of things to say. We can skip this slide again. Thank you. These are my experience, examples of my experience, because I had chance to experience many stages of the volunteering, and it means a lot for me. My story, as you can see here, started with my university club and continued with many of things as you see here. And I learned what is to be addicted. I found out what are the options in the palm of my hand. And after a certain point, after you gained some experience to aware different kinds of things, I gained enough experience to cross the line and started to hold the hands of my peers after a certain time. And I started to transfer and apply what I have learned during these trainings and activities. And I became a member of a long-term solution, actually. And there is a different experience here. But everything here actually tells me one important thing. Everything that I experience will enable me to hope for the world and contribute as a transformative force to the fact that healthy future is possible and everything is in the palm of your hands. And this was my last words. That's all from me. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ms. Aslihan Yesir. I think it was a very inspiring presentation. And we also thank you for your sincere volunteerism as well. Ms. Aslihan Yesir joined us from Istanbul, Turkey, and we are now going to South Africa, to Kigali, to Rwanda. We have Ms. Memory Usaman there as the president of Rwanda Youth Impact. Today, she is going to talk about us the impact of civil society and volunteerism on quality education and well-being of society. Ms. Memory Usaman, do you hear me?
Yes, Kamal, I can hear you. Hello, everyone.
Yes, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Allow me to share. Can you all see my presentation?
We do see your presentation, but you can do it full screen because we can see the other slides as well. You can do it full screen from the bottom part.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Hello, everyone. Once again, thank you so much for this opportunity which we were given as Rwanda Youth Impacts to present on impacts of civil society and volunteerism on quality education and well-being of the society. We are grateful to be taking part in this conference, and we give our appreciation to Turkey Green Crescent for this selection. Rwanda is one of the countries that was affected, and it's also one of the countries that is also developing a developing nation, is working hard to become better than where it is right now. According to Michael Broughton, in sense, civil associations, civil society is social interaction between the households and the state characterized by community of cooperation, structures of voluntary and association, and networks of the public communication. This is the introduction of my topic on how best we are going to further break it down. When we look at the membership of civil society, it comprises of individuals, it could be youth, adults, family members, religious, academic institutions coming together, even NGOs, they come together in this particular case to achieve a certain task. In Rwanda, we have what we call umganda, where youth and adults, they volunteer to clean roads each and every month, and last weekend of the month. They volunteer to clean roads, construct houses for elderly people or less privileged families. They can plant trees, flowers, or clean the roads. Like the pictures that are indicated on this slide, you will see the first family, they are working the community to plant trees and flowers. The second picture, you see people from army, they volunteered to clean the roads where they are carrying out garbage. The third picture, you're seeing NGOs, volunteers working with community and youth to clear the roads so that at least it can be tarred. So it's a community work which they do. Some of the doctors, they go as far as selecting one day which they can actually work as volunteer within a certain hospital. Same applies with the judges, lawyers. They do the same here in Rwanda when it comes to volunteerism in terms of communities. I will look at, for me to break down our topic for you to understand what we're going to be discussing. I will allow me to look at what could be done to improve quality of education in Rwanda. Here we are looking at sustainable development goals. In the past 15 years, Rwanda noticed an impressive growth in primary enrollment as a result of ongoing policy development and strategies such as school construction, teacher recruitment, capitation grants, teaching and learning material, promotion of girls' education, increased parent involvement, and government encouragement towards private sector investment. Moreover, considerable progress was observed in terms of university primary education. The statistics are below. They show the increase of primary school in 2015 to 2018. You can notice a gross enrollment there, which was not there before. If you look to our statistics, 105.3 and 137.5, and the net enrollments. So this showed in what was happening before and a change for better. The transition rate from primary level to secondary level increased from 71%, 71.1% to 71.6%. There is still more work to be done. According to the World Bank, the senior specialist, she did highlight, Ruth, some of the areas which Rwanda has to do in education sector to scale up their role, and also for us to see noticeable changes in terms of coming up with quality education for those that are lagging behind. So you find that some of the schools here in Rwanda, they don't pay school fees, especially primary or government schools. They go for free. And also teachers, they are trying to recruit teachers who are better qualified from other countries so that they can come and share, the transfer of knowledge to the kids here in Rwanda. So they are playing a very big role in terms of improving that area. And we noticed also that they need to intensify efforts to improve early grade progression to high grades. So those are some of the steps that they are taking to improve, even for staff, to reduce even staff turnarounds. So they are also looking at areas of allowances that can motivate the teachers, good salaries to motivate the teachers, and at the same time hiring qualified teachers who can actually help the children in schools. Allow me to look at what are the weaknesses to reaching the SDGs in Rwanda. In this particular case, I'll look at 3 SDGs, one for good and health and well-being, education, and gender quality. SDGs fail as less attention is given to addressing governance challenges crucial to their implementation. In these particular cases, we are looking at Rwanda. Rwanda ranks as top 5 countries for gender equality according to the Global Gender Gap Reports. If you look at Rwanda, in terms of their government, parliament members, 61% of their parliament members are women, and 80-member in an 80-member parliament, 46 members are female from 2003. Inside Rwanda's government, there is the Ministry of Gender and Family Promotion, and the Ministry of Gender and Family Promotion, they are there to monitor gender issues, and also it is committed to gender-based budgeting that ensures that promotion of gender is seen in Rwanda for women. And they have also Women for Women International projects, which they are working for here in Rwanda to ensure that women are not left behind. And you find that women are also working well with men, and men are also taught how to do their work. And in some significant changes, you find that women have been given the same right as men to inherit land, and in other factors like some government posts, like in military, you find women dominating in those areas. Same applies with even in education. So those are some of the areas which Rwanda is doing. What are the activities that the Rwanda Youth Impact holds to improve quality education and increase the accessibility of opportunities for the youth? As Rwanda Youth Impact, we try our level best to work with youth. And when we work with youth, we are trying to make them understand that they are supposed to live healthier lives by shunning things like addiction in alcohol, addiction in smoking, addiction in technology, addiction in gambling, and addiction in drugs. So we work with them closely, and we entered into a 5-year memorandum of understanding with Rwanda Biomedical Center, which is an implementing agent for Rwanda Ministry of Health. So we look at prevention and harm reduction activities as we work with them, and we work with even universities where we reach out to these young people, and at times we look at schools where we catch them young, but our main focus being youth and society at large for Rwanda. So working with RBC, this will actually give us to enable us to reach out to the target audience easily in terms of for them to stop using harmful drugs that can actually kill that can affect their health or affect their future. As you know, the youth is the future, is the backbone of the country. How does Rwanda Youth Impact include youth in its activities? Rwanda Youth Impact, we work with youth in so many activities that we do. Last year when we had COVID-19, we worked with youth in terms of donating face masks to schools for parents who could not afford to buy face masks for their children. We even had time to talk to those young children, to talk to youth, and also to provide some foodstuffs during the COVID-19 era when it was still at its peak, and most of the breadwinners were laid off from their work. So we managed to also cover that gap by working with youth to identify families that we can actually do small things for them in such a way that it will alleviate the challenges that they had that time. So in that process, we managed to also have adverts or to raise awareness through national television. Last year when we had international basketball, which was being played here, so we targeted national stations which were airing those activities, and we flighted our adverts. And through that, most of the youth, they reached out to us, and when they reached out to Wonder Youth Impact, we managed to engage them through our psychiatrists who actually are talking to them even up to now. And we have seen that through that therapy of talking to them, they are improving, and they are even conversing with them, so that it is now better, because they want to leave addiction, but they could not leave what they were being addicted to. So through that talking to them, following up with them, we are seeing a change. How does one Youth Impact suggest to achieve these goals? We have seen from talking with these young people that we need to introduce training of workshops where we invite them, they come, they meet experts, they get to know some of the experiences from other countries or from the speakers in such a way that they know that change is possible, and it's a choice that comes from within. And also to be involved in capacity building, and also create psycho-education programs for these young ones, outpatient therapy and assertiveness therapy. Those are some of the areas which we are also looking at as we are also preparing for our conference, which will be happening in July. So we thank you so much for this opportunity which you have given us to give our presentation. I will end here. Thank you so much for your time once again. Bye for now.
Thank you very much, Ms. Memory Usama from Kigali, Rwanda. It was a very informative presentation. Now we have Mr. George Odalo, the president and the founder of Slum Child Foundation in Kenya. Mr. Odalo, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I will not share my presentation on screen because I don't have much, but I will just share what I have, and based on, I would want to make it like more or less a conversation that I'm having with the young people. I'm happy and grateful for the presentation from my sister from Rwanda and the people who have come before me. And I'm very, very much happy that I'm talking about the global connection between Sustainable Development Goal number 3 and Goal number 4, which talks about health and education respectively. As young people, if you go through the targets that have been set, and target number 3 of the SDG number 3, there are a lot of things that have been raised here, issues of HIV, TB, malaria, which in Africa remains a biggest problem. And I don't think if it's only Africa, but the issue of communicable diseases, especially in this era that we are talking about COVID, it has affected a lot of young people. And it has become a big burden. And as young people, from our end as an institution, I know we've been doing a lot just to ensure that we engage young people, talk about the issues related to how to handle this. Most recently, we had a conference in Nairobi here talking about, it was an African conference on drugs and crime. So if you look at the resolution of the outcome document of the conference, it was very clear that issues related to communicable diseases are also becoming a big challenge. I'm very much happy that the government of Kenya is really doing a lot to ensure that they're able to promote and create a platform for young people to ensure that they have this. And I'm really sorry a little bit about something small. I did not share about my organization and what we do. So my organization is called Slum Child Foundation. We are an ECOSOC. We have an ECOSOC status with the UN. We work with young people, women and youth in the informal settlements of Korogocho in Nairobi, Kenya. I'm the founder and the executive director of this organization. And what has really motivated me to, or what motivated me to start the organization is that the kind of lifestyle that I went through growing up and being brought up in Islam setup, where at some point I was a street boy, and I was able to turn my tides of the bad side of life into the good tides of life. So I've never moved from where I've grown up. I'm working with the people in the same slums that I was brought up. So when we talk about issues of goal target number 3, I'm talking about what I've seen. A lot of people have been raising the whole issue of HIV, especially in the informal settlement. It's a big problem. A lot of young people have lost hope. I used to have a friend of mine who was affected by TB. He completely lost hope and he was like, the world is coming to an end. But I'm very much happy that through the government initiative, there are certain structures that have been put in place at the community level to ensure that young people are able to access medication. Look at the issue of mental health. Mental health is a big problem, especially in Kenya. And if you look at target number 3, the government have really tried to put interventions and initiatives to ensure that they have a policy that governs the country on issues related to mental health. There is a treatment referral facility actually in Nairobi. I think it's the one of its kind here in Kenya that specifically target the issues of mental health. And through that, the government has also set up a youth-friendly facility whereby young people can go and get psychosocial support at no cost to ensure that their issues are addressed. And we are very much grateful for these facilities because through this, we've been able to refer a lot of young people to be attended to in these facilities. We are very much happy that they've been helped. But the other problem and a challenge at the same time is I'm trying to imagine someone who is like 300 kilometers from Nairobi. How will they find themselves, or how will they find themselves to this facility? So it's a big problem, but better half loaf of bread than nothing. I know with time government will do much to expand this, but as civil society organization, we're also trying to establish partnership with other civil society in different regions within the country to ensure that they replicate this, because the government cannot do everything. We have to help the government do what they can, because most of the African governments, you understand, we don't have. I mean, they don't have. They have, but it's inadequate. The other thing is the issue of goal number 3.5, talking about prevention and treatment of substance use. It is a big problem. My focus has been issues of prevention, but from time to time, in a week, I cannot fail to come across cases of around 5 people, young people actually, who have been affected by drug use and they require treatment. The challenge is in terms of payment and other related stuff, it becomes a big challenge for these young people to afford, because if they cannot afford a meal that goes for like $2 or $3 or $5, it becomes a problem for them to fund themselves to go to a treatment facility that will cost around $3,000. I mean, at times, my sister memory can help me justify this. You understand the inadequate resources in Africa and how young people are trying to fight to ensure that they're able to get this. Poverty remains a big problem. And then the other issue is the issue of promotion of sexual reproductive health rights, which is under goal number 7. I mean, it's also a big problem, because if we are not able to address this, if we are not able to address issues of drug and substance use, we cannot have healthy young people growing together. And as an organization, we've been on the forefront to ensure that we champion for this through our school outreach programs and through our life skills program, whereby we target young women, young girls, with the skills that can help them cope up with life, to help them make informed choices about their sexual reproductive health rights. And then I will also now jump to goal number 4, which talks about education. And I know, like, if you go through all the goals, there are around 7. You realize that it is a big challenge for us to promote this. Kenya has been on the forefront to promote target number 1, which is free primary and secondary education. And to be honest with you, it's free. I can say it's free, yes, but it's free in quotes, because you have to pay for lunch fee. You have to pay for, I mean, lunch fee is fine. No one can concentrate in a classroom if they've not taken anything. So if you're not able to afford the lunch fee, it means you will not be able to concentrate with the studies that the teacher is trying to put across. The other requirements that are required, as much as the government is trying, but we're also trying to ensure that we help the government by providing this lunch fee. Access to quality education, at times it's not easy that much, because the kind of classrooms that are there, the number vis-a-vis the ratio of teachers and students, it is not quite enough. But we try our level best to ensure that we're able to do this through our weekend program, because the school does not provide everything. So what they're able to provide, we complement it through our weekly program, whereby we are able to engage these kids through the volunteers who come on board and have them in small groups to talk about this. The others that are access to affordable and quality technical and vocational training skills. As an organization, we've been doing this with the young women and teenage mothers to ensure that they get the skills that can help them, because with the education that you get, it is not quite enough. You need to have something that you can use your hands to generate an income. There are others like discrimination of education, promotion of universal literacy education, which is good, but at the same time, it's a big challenge. There are grandmothers or our mothers who didn't get a chance to go to school, and they really want to learn, but now who is ready to accept them and embrace them? There are very minimal, inadequate facilities that promote this. So it's a big challenge, but we are trying our level best to ensure that we lobby with the government to ensure that they create these facilities, to ensure that we are able to promote this, and by giving them an opportunity to link up with other countries, whereby we are able to bring the best practices in order to promote this global connection. A good practical example is back to goal number 3, whereby we've been able to get good practices from the health sector. From the education sector, there is one that we've been trying to promote, good school, good neighborhood, I think, with UN Habitat. Although it has not picked up very well, but we've been accommodated into this, although it's a little bit confusing and technical. But if it can be made in a simplified way, I think we'll be able to achieve this. And then in terms of my recommendation now to the government or young people around here, I think we need to champion for the implementation of the policies. In Africa, we are good with policies. I can tell you, Kenya, we have the best constitution, the best youth policies, but now the biggest challenge comes in terms of implementation. We cannot be able to achieve goal number 3 and 4 if we are not able to push our governments to implement. Rwanda is a good example. They just came in the other day, and I'm happy that Memory and other young people are really pushing the government to ensure that they're on toes, to ensure that they implement these policies. If you look at the UNGAS, if you look at the ministerial outcome document, the policies on education, they're just papers. So we need to rise up as young people, advocate and champion for what belongs to us. We need also to promote research in terms of new emerging trends, that we are able to know where can we push the government to allocate funding and ensure that we also participate in these public forums. The other thing is also we need to push the government and donors to ensure that they give priority to what we feel is right, because at times there is missed priority. You cannot tell me we can procure. Allow me to use this example of Kenya. We want to procure laptops for our children, yet there is no classroom. These children are learning under trees. So where will we be able to teach them how to use a laptop? So we need to ensure that we give our government priorities, especially from the angle of the young people, to ensure that they promote and finance what we need them to finance. I think I will stop at that because my time is so much gone and I can see Kamal is looking at me. So I think I'll stop at that and ensure that, or urge the young people, go for what belongs to you. It's your right. It's your constitutional right. Go for it. If you don't speak now, no one will speak for you. Thank you very much.
We thank you very much, George. It was an excellent speech. It was an inspiring speech. It was a real civil society speech, actually. Thank you so much again. I would like to thank to all of our participants and all of our speakers today for their valuable and important presentations. Today we talked about youth taking action for a sustainable future in a post-pandemic era. And we mentioned the importance of the youth and the volunteerism. Especially in the difficult times of this earth, volunteers' efforts like this even more crucial for a sustainable future. On the behalf of Public Association Zhasilay of Kazakhstan, I wish all of you have a very, very beautiful day. Thank you very much for joining. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you, colleagues.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.